on, guys? Bones88 here, and I've been really sick the last week, so that's why I haven't been making any content. I know I'm a little late for this video here, but we're going to go over the patch notes. We're going to talk about Garrell, as you can see behind me, the new character with this new patch, and there's lots of buffs. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, and so let's just get right into it. But I will warn you, we're going to be here for a little bit, because there's a lot to go over. So first I want to talk about Garrell, his event, and all that good stuff, and then we're going to go back over to the patch notes and talk about everything else that's in there. So the new hero Garrell, he is awesome looking. We're going to try and pull for him at the end of this video, so stay tuned if you want and see if I get him. But he is just cool, man. So his kit, he is on his trait, he's granting 2 rage at the start of the battle. Each attack grants 1 rage. 6 rage removes all negative effects from this character and activates an Azura state for 2 turns. Azura attacks in the flaming Azura state deal extra damage based on Garrell's max health. So it sounds like you might want to put a little bit of health on him. I'm not sure. This is my first time looking at the kit. But, I mean, still a good trait. Every time he attacks, he's getting rage. So he's easily getting rage. So I really like that trait. Pretty cool. Basic. It deals 100% damage to 1 enemy and 20% more if the target has a positive effect. So that's really cool. You know, how often is an enemy team putting buffs on themselves, right? All the time. That's one of the basic things in the game. So he's doing more damage the more buffs that enemy has. So that's pretty cool. So for a special, when he is attacked, he boosts lifesteal by 50% and counterattacks with basic abilities, triggered up to once per round. So he's doing more damage to somebody when there's more buffs on that enemy with his basic. So he's using his basic on this, and he's getting more lifesteal. So pretty cool. I'm not sure what I would do. I don't know if he should be in a cursed, but not bad at all. And next up, his ultimate. He grants attack up and defense pierce up for 2 turns, and then deals 150% damage to an enemy. Awesome. Attack up, he's hitting harder. Defense pierce up, he's getting past the defense rating. He's going to be hitting pretty good, I think. Most people have already been trying him out. Most content creators already have him to 60, blah blah blah. So they know more. I'm sure even if you're watching this, you probably already know if he's good or not. I do not. I've been very sick, so I'm late to the party. But by what his kit is showing, looks pretty awesome. His little video that they made for him says that he's a Tulpa master, and I believe it. I'm sure if you're needing help in Tulpa, I'm sure this guy is going to help you extremely. He is obviously a single DPS champion, and usually single DPS champions hit harder than most. So I think he's going to be worth it. I can't wait. Hopefully I pull him, and if I do pull him, I'll be taking him straight to 60 anyways. He just looks awesome, right? I am so excited to get him. Hopefully I will. Now, that's not it for Garrell. If you go to Dungeon, they have a limited time campaign for him called Fire Slam here in the Dungeon section. Click on that. Now, I have been doing this while I've been sitting in bed, so it's pretty cool. So here we are. It's like a little campaign for him. It's really neat. It's content. It's new. I can't complain. This is really neat. So the thing about this one is each node has 3 challenges. Now make sure you're doing each challenge for each mode. Don't just do one and keep going. You want to do all 3 of these. Another thing I've noticed is if you see where it says multi-battle down here, you can multi-battle this last mission as much as you want. And this goes for all the nodes. And this will give you currency to spend in the shop, and we'll get back to that here in a second. I do know that this is you can only do so many per day. I don't know the exact number, but it seems like you can only do 1 challenge per day. And as you see here, you see the timer for me. I have 9 hours before I can continue on. But if you still want to keep, grinding in it, keep multi-battling this last one, and you're going to keep getting currency you can spend in the event shop. So they have a special shop for this event. Pretty cool. Lots of really good stuff, guys. Really good stuff. Now there's 2 types of currencies. There's this little bug thing that reminds me of from the Mummy. You know, whenever they would fall on the ground and they would go into people's skin. I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but they remind me of those. But also, you get these blue diamonds. Now, the blue diamonds are the currency you get for multi-battling that node. these bugs are a lot more, it's more of a premium currency. You don't get as many of those, so make sure you know that. What I've been buying is I'm trying to get all the 5-star holy pumpkins. For 40 of these bugs, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I think that's probably the best value there, is these 5-star pumpkins. As far as what I'm spending with the diamonds, I'm buying foodies. I've bought a few advanced summoning crystals, but I should probably be saving up and getting this ancient summoning crystal, and you should too, and I will. I'll quit buying the 5-star pumpkins, but I needed those pumpkins, right? So I would definitely be getting this ancient summoning crystal first, and that's cheap, guys. It's not hard to get 60 of those, especially right off the get-go. So the first thing I would be buying is that summoning crystal, then the 5-star holy pumpkins. A lot of people are like, oh, I want the avatar, and it matters to a lot of people, right? It doesn't matter to me, personally, but a lot of people love the avatars, and it's going to be a rare avatar picture. Once this event goes away, who knows, you may not be able to get the avatar picture. So that might be something to think about too, just for like bragging rights, right? But really cool. I mean, really cool. Lots of unique stuff for this event shop. Another thing don't forget about is to be doing these quests. They're not hard, they're not tough, and they refresh every day. And they get you these bugs and some premium stuff. Look, 4-star pumpkins, that's big. 10 of these bugs is huge, so make sure you guys are focusing on these daily challenges too. One last thing is if you go to the summoning area, they have a special summoning event just for him. You'll more likely get him, but I'm seeing people pull him like crazy, so I think you have a pretty good chance of getting him. But I'm seeing a lot of people pull 200 and not get him, right? But I'm seeing people pull some and they're getting like 3 of him in one 10 pull. So I don't know the exact science of the drop rates of him, but it seems like a lot of people are pulling him pretty easily. So we'll come back to this at the end of the video and we will try getting him. I have about 50 or 60 I can pull. Hopefully we can get him. So that's pretty much the event and the character in a nutshell. Let's go back over to the patch notes, because there is a lucrative amount of buffs that characters got all throughout the game. Alright, so here we are with the patch notes. We've went over all the events and everything. Here's it says, when a player pulls a legendary hero, there's a 50% chance of it being Garrell. There you go. If the first pull was not successful, the next legendary hero summoned is guaranteed to be Garrell. So you don't have a great chance of pulling him as it is, but I'm seeing people pull him like crazy. So they adjusted the effects of the assassin set. They gave it a buff. Before, you had a 50% chance to deal 35% bonus damage. Now you have the same chance, but you deal 50% instead of 35% bonus damage. So that's a pretty big buff. Huge. Hopefully that will make people want to use assassin set instead of putting curse set on everything. I said this before, that I hope they start buffing some of these other gear sets to keep people from just putting cursed on everyone. That's not fun. It's not fun to put curse on everything. So hopefully that detours some people and gets people to put an assassin set on some attackers instead of curse. So they did some nerfs to Arena and some spells and stuff. Lots of controversy. I hate Arena. I really don't care. But a lot of people love Arena and spend a lot of time in it and are pretty upset. But now in Arena, spells are limited to 1 per round. So you can't do one and the next person do another one. You have to wait for all 4 of your characters to go once before you can do the next one. But that's only in Arena, remember. That's not anywhere else in the game. There's more nerfs to the spells as we go on here. They increased word limit to chat. They adjusted the layout of the dungeon interface. Improved notifications for double experience bonus. And increased the HP bar limits of the guild boss. So here we are. Here's what we came to see, right? The freaking buff central. Huge update. So let's get into it because we have a lot. First up is Evelyn First On. I do not have her, so I can't tell you if she's doing better or not. But her special Vanguard, before she was dealing 100% damage to one enemy and applies defense down for 2 turns. Now she's dealing 100% damage to one enemy, applies defensive down 2, and launches a joint attack with an ally. So all they're adding is a joint attack with an ally. That's still enormous. That's still huge. Great buff. Brand the Brilliant. He went through a nerf recently. Now they're buffing him. His special, which is his basic, so with lightning compression, it increased damage from 100% to 150%. His ultimate, Ancestral Grudge, increased damage from 100% to 120%. So those are some good percentages, good buff. Next up, Godfrey, Cacophony. Before it dealt 100% damage to one enemy and applied Unhealable for 2 turns. Now it's dealing 100% to one enemy, applies Unhealable for 2 turns, and Silence for 1 turn. So all it's doing is adding Silence. That's good. Silence is a good debuff to put out. His ultimate, Sufficiency, increased damage from 120% to 150%. That's good. All good. Next up, Balbrith. So his trait, Demon Rebirth. It increased the health after revival from 30 to 60% ascended to 50 to 80% ascended. That's pretty good. That's going to make him get more health when he revives. Tia. Her ultimate, Absolute Zero. Before it dealt 120% damage to all enemies with a 50% chance to apply Frozen. Chance increased to 80% if the enemy is affected by Frostbite. Now, he's dealing the same damage to all enemies, but plus 50% damage to the main target and applies Frozen for 1 turn. 50% chance to apply Frozen to surrounding targets for 1 turn. Chances increased to 80% if the enemy is affected by Frostbite. So it doesn't seem like they changed all that much except the plus 50% damage to the main target. So, I mean, that's okay. I don't use Tia for damage. I use her for crowd control, freezes and stuns. So, that's not that amazing, to be honest. I don't get why they had to do that, but whatever. Next up we have Lydia. Her trait, Phantom. Before, her dodge was plus 20%. And when she was ascended, it grants plus 20% dodge for a max of 40% dodge, if this character is below 50% HP. After, they've increased the percent of dodge to 35%, and when she's ascended, grants 35% dodge and plus 20% lifesteal. That's a pretty huge buff for her. That's really going to help. I have Lydia. I've taken her to 60, pimped her out, and I just wasn't impressed with her. She's good. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate her. But I think this will really, really help. Next up, Yolanda. Her special, Chain of Light. Before, it applied immune and attack up to an ally for 2 turns. After, it applies immune and attack up 2 to an ally for 2 turns. But then grants the target a bonus turn at the end of the round. That is huge. Granting a bonus turn at any time is huge. Her ultimate, Shield of Light, decreased skill cooldown from 6 to 5, good. Crit resistance increased from 30 to 50%. Awesome. Cooldowns, another great thing you can do. Anytime you take a cooldown down, that's a huge deal. Next up, Savannah. Special, Chains of Vengeance. Increase the duration of crit damage up from 1 to 2 turns. That's good. That's pretty good. Savannah isn't a very good character, though. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Her ultimate, Curse of Agony, adjusted the effect of Revenge. Before, attack increased by 20% with the max of 3 stacks, to attack increases by 30%, max 2 stacks. Didn't really make it better. I think it just made it where she gets up to the max that she can get faster. Not necessarily she's hitting harder, just getting that percentage up to the max faster. Does that make her better? I don't think that's going to make a difference. Next up, Hector. His special War Axe throw now will apply precision up to himself. Will that make a difference? I don't know. Pretty small. Sierra. Her basic Dark Shreds now will apply precision up to herself. That may help her a little bit better. I know she's an insane damage dealer if you ever gear it up right. That may make a bigger difference than what we think. Next up, Hydrisia. Trait, Dragon's Kin. Before, attacks have a 50% chance to grant a bonus attack. Now, attacks have a 40% chance to grant a bonus attack, plus 15% chance per valid hit on enemy. So that means she's going to have a pretty good chance because she can hit several characters at once. So that's a pretty decent one. I like that. Alright, now we're in the epic section. So Lightwing Zachary. His trait Chaos Slaughter now grants negative 30% damage taken when taking a critical strike. That is huge. That's like him having dragon scale armor on, but not. It's in his kit. That's really big. His basic Chaos Blade increases damage from 80 to 100%. I don't know how big of a difference that'll make, but it's still a buff. His special Chaos Punch increased damage from 100% to 120%. Those are pretty solid buffs on Lightwing Zachary. I have him, have not built him up. People say he's kind of niche. Let me know what you guys think about him. My man Kane. To me, one of the worst characters in the game. His basic, Bear Claw, increased damage per hit from 30% to 50%. His ultimate Boulder Throw now will apply a shield equal to 20% of max health for 2 turns to himself. Do I think this is going to make all of us go out and build Kane? No, but I think this will keep beginners using Kane a little bit longer. So, Thomas, his trait Giant Crossbow, before when his HP was above 50%, attacks have a 15% chance to apply stun. When ascended, he had a 30% chance to apply stun. When HP is below 50%, attacks deal bonus damage equal to 3% or 5% when ascended of the enemy's max HP. Now, when HP is above 50%, attacks have a 30% chance to apply stun for 1 turn. When ascended, attacks have a 30% chance to apply stun for 1 turn. When taking damage more than 30% of the character's max HP, grants shield equal to 30% of max HP for 2 turns. Can be triggered once per round. So that's a mouthful. So that just means, if he gets hit really hard by a boss or something, he is giving himself a shield. So his basic Explosive Arrow, increased damage from 100 to 120%. Small, but okay. Special passive, range support, increased damage from 100 to 120%, and will have a 50% chance to remove 1 positive effect from the target. So not bad, I'll take it. That's cool to me. Lordran, his basic Leaping Joust now deals bonus damage equal to 3% of the character's max HP. That actually is a bigger thing than you think. When it's taking a percentage of someone's max HP, that means the more HP a person has, the more damage Lordran's doing. Next up, Virgil, his trait, Arcane Sanction. Arcane Sanction effect increases true damage from 10 to 20% and will recover 10% of Virgil's max HP. That's pretty huge too. That's awesome. True damage means you're bypassing defense and stuff like that. And it's 10% more, that's huge. And then it recovers 10% of Virgil's max HP, that's huge also. Very good buff. Next up we have Hugh. His ultimate Blade Dance now will apply decreased damage taken for 2 turns. That's pretty good. Then, yeah, that's a good buff to have, guys. So that's a big buff. Next up, Borden. His Survival of the Fittest now will apply stealth for 1 turn at the start of the battle. So that's not bad. I mean, keeps you from hitting him at the start of battle. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Borden, but Borden can be decent if you use him right. Next up, Mognar. I hate this guy. I don't know if this is going to make a difference in him, but where he was before this drove me insane. So, his basic Brutal Thrust increased damage from 60 to 100% and applies defensive down for 2 turns. They removed, if the enemy is affected by defensive down, applies defensive down 2 for 2 turns. So he's dealing more damage and applying defensive down. Not sure if that makes him better. Let me know what you guys think. His special Poem of Nar changed to a passive skill. When HP is below 50%, grants a shield for 2 turns. If this character already has a shield, immediately grants a bonus turn. Can be triggered every 2 rounds. That's pretty good. I think that's really good. I like that. I like that a lot. His ultimate Mog's Rage increased damage from 150 to 180%. Removed if the target is affected by stun, then grant a plus 100% attack before the attack. I don't know about that one. I've never used Mognar. I just know that he's not that great. But this definitely is making him a lot better. So I enjoy that. So that's the end of the character buffs. There's still a few things you need to see here about the spells I was talking about earlier. So Raging Aura. That now has plus 30% attack for the current turn. So I'm not really worried about that. That's fine for me. But this is the one everyone's pissed about. The Water Prison, the one that stuns an enemy and takes all their buffs away. Well, now it'll apply stun on an enemy for 1 turn and remove only 1 of their positive effects, guys. 1. Just 1. Not all, not 2, not 3, not a few. 1. That is kind of crappy. I will admit, I'm still not as mad as everyone else is about it. It's going to affect some few things, but here in a month, we're going to forget about it, and everything's going to be okay, right? You just got to change some strategies around, It's not just like you are the only one that's happening to. It's happening to everyone. Everyone's got to deal with it, so it's going to be okay. I promise. It does kind of suck. It does change up some strategies and arena and all that stuff, and a few bosses in the game it's going to affect, but besides that, we'll figure a way around it, and we'll keep on moving along with our lives. And here, it's just, graphics and UI optimizations and bug fixes. Nothing too crazy, nothing that great. I'm not really going to go into that, because we've been here long enough as it is. So, that's the patch notes, that's the buffs. Let's go pull for Garrell. This is the part I've been waiting on. Alright, so I have 30 waiting to be pulled, and I'll probably pull another 20 or 30 from my diamonds. So let's get on it, man. Let's do it. Times 10. Okay. Alright. Okay. Yolanda! Oh, hold on. Sorry, I left the screen small. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, that right there was a cool pull. Unfortunately, it wasn't Garrell, but I want Yolanda. I'm happy I didn't have her. I like the healers. I have Hydrisia. I have Blackhorn. Yolanda is completing my trifecta of healers. Awesome. Even if I don't get him, I'm happy with that. Let's keep going. Come on, baby. Let's go. Another one. Come on, baby. Come on, Garrell. Right here. Ow! Boom! Boom! Lightwing Zach, I have him. I don't really care. I'm done. Yeah! I am not going to waste my diamonds. I am happy with that. Right there, guys. Right there. Huge! 2 times 10, 2 legendaries, and 1 Garrell. Ow! Yes! Yes! Alright, guys. I'm Bones88. If you guys enjoy my content, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the support. I love you all dearly, and I will catch you next time. Peace!